Hey everyone, my name's Wyatt, and I'm glad you're joining me on this adventure of exploring Dead Man's Lake at Pilot Knob State Park. I've chosen to talk to you about this place because of the history behind the area and how special it is to the park. Let's start with a little history lesson.
So thousands of years ago, there was this giant glacier. It was called the Wisconsin, and it covered all the way from Minnesota all the way down to Iowa. And this here, right here in Pilot Knob, was the area that glacier drew the divide. And the Dead Man's Lake and Sphagnum Bog was a result of that. So why is it called Dead Man's Lake? Well, follow me and I'll tell you. So one native story goes like this. It was a cold winter night. The lake was all frozen over. And there was this man and his team of ox that wanted to cross over the lake, make it to the other side. But the carriage crashed and everybody drowned. The man, his team of ox, and henceforth the nickname Dead Man's Lake. Another story says that there was a Native American whose tribe cast him out, and he ended up wandering out here, and this here was where he died. And some say that his burial is around these areas. So along with Dead Man's Lake is this awesome 4-acre floating sphagnum bog. And this bog is so unique in this way, let me tell you, that is the only one of its kind in Iowa. 4 acres and just bursting with wildlife and plant life. It's so amazing.
So what is a bog? National Geographic describes a bog as a wetland that consists of soft spongy ground and plant matter that is decaying called peat. They are often found in cooler northern lake basins that have poor drainage systems. Bogs take hundreds or even thousands of years to develop, and they form when a lake fills up with plant debris over time. They are important to our ecosystem because of the great absorbing qualities they have for precipitation.
This area is home to white-tailed deer, chipmunks, birds of all sorts of kinds, from woodpeckers to robins, and you even have the smaller things like insects, from frogs to even flies and sweat bees. This area is just crawling with wildlife.
Plants such as sphagnum moss, heaths, or sundews begin to grow from the lake's edge and eventually will cover the entire surface of the bog. There are many different kinds of bogs: blanket bogs, cataract bogs, valley bogs, quaking bogs, and several other kinds. But what makes a sphagnum bog different from the rest? Well, you guessed it, sphagnum. Bogs are home to a variety of plant and wildlife. Plants like sphagnum moss, reeds seen here, sedges, and heather are many different kinds of plants. Common wildlife are white-tailed deer, red and gray squirrels, chipmunks, insects of all kinds, frogs, even birds from woodpeckers to robins. These animals call this place home. So now that we've learned a little bit of what bogs are, how they're made, and the plant and wildlife around these areas, it's your turn. Now it's your turn. I encourage you to take some time and research about the local area you are in and see if you can find any interesting history about it. In the description below, I've added a Quizlet page that you can use to review the terms and stories we had talked about earlier. In the meantime, thanks for going on this walk with me, and I hope to see you again soon.
And you know, I'm gonna leave you with this little fun fact while I'm out here watching the birds, listening to the frogs in the bog. Did you know that in the Siberia region in Russia, it has the world's largest area of bogs, almost 390,000 square miles. So if you want to go explore some bogs, let's go buy that plane ticket and I'll join you.